What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today we are not talking about a blade. This is not a sword. This is what you might call a gun. It's actually a semi-auto 22 long rifle. So, I have been promising for months and months and months, damn near forever, to do a budget 22 rifle build video, and that's what we're going to do today. Thank you for your patience, and I hope it's everything that you always wished it would be. So, I've got some notes over here. We're going to talk about everything here in this build. This is a budget build. And you're going to think, you're right now, you're like, Baz on Blades, what do you mean by budget? Everything here, including tax, tag, title, delivery fee, background check, restocking fee, and gratuity, is less than 450 American greenbacks. And that is pretty decent. That is the complete build with rifle, glass and rings, and bipod. Very, very competitive little build as far as being feature packed, friendly to use, precise enough for the build type, and just generally very pleasing to shoot, especially considering I've got less than $450 in it. So we'll talk about the rifle a little bit, we'll talk about the glass a little bit, this carbon fiber bipod a little bit, and like I say, I've got some notes here. The rifle is a Thompson Center TC R22, and before we go any further, let's go ahead and do a safety check per se. This rifle does not have a magazine in it, and the chamber is empty. I hope you can see in there, but it is very much clear, guys. All right, so what we've got here is the Thompson Center TC R22, and it is pretty much a straight up clone of a Ruger 1022. It is what I would call a improved version, in that it has some features you typically will not find on your base model 1022s. It is competitively priced. It will take all Ruger 1022 parts, so you're talking bolts, magazines, barrels, stocks, whatever you want to do. It is interchangeable stuff. Now, the features for this Thompson Center TC R22, that the reason I call it an improved version, what we've got here, you've got the Magpul design stock. It does have a 17-inch barrel. Overall length is 35 inches, and it is 4.4 pounds. It is a very lightweight rifle. Now, as it is right now, it is 5.8 pounds. 5.8 pounds, all the way built out with a sizable piece of glass on it, and the glass can get pretty heavy as it gets bigger and bigger. So, on the front end of this Magpul designed stock, you've got some M-lock slots where I've got the bipod mounted. It does feature a last shot bolt hold open on the fully machined stainless steel bolt, but that bolt hold open only works with the factory 10 round magazines that come with it, and I hardly ever use this magazine. I am using a Ruger BX25 with 0 issues at all. Again, it'll take all these Ruger parts. Now, this factory magazine is your standard 10 round rotary. It does feature a last shot bolt hold open that is magazine dependent. If I run this Ruger magazine in it, it does not have the bolt hold open. I'm going to show you how that works. Look very closely at this magazine. Right here, you're going to see a metal tab, an L-shaped bent metal tab there. That does assist. You can push down on that, and it will push down on the follower to help you start loading this magazine. but also that pops up as the follower rotates around. It allows it to come up, and it pushes it up, and it catches the bolt for the last round bolt hold open. Not a super important feature for a 1022, but with that factory magazine, it is a slight improvement if that's important to you. Like I say, that does not work with aftermarket or Ruger branded magazines, although the magazines themselves do work. Only the last shot bolt hold open feature is affected. So, like I say, it's got a fully machined stainless bolt that is much better than partially machined, which I would think would be bad and it wouldn't work at all. So fully machined, that is an added feature there. The receiver is 6061 aluminum with an integral Picatinny mount here, all forged together. Your Picatinny rail to mount your optics is already there. It's always going to be there. It is standard Picatinny. I had no issues at all mounting this glass up. The barrel is button rifled. It is a threaded barrel. It does feature standard 1/2 inch by 28 thread in here. It does have a collar on it right now to protect it. It just screws off, and you can screw your whatever suppressor you want to run with your 22 long rifle. 22 long rifle is so fantastic with a suppressor. I wish that I wasn't poor and I could afford a suppressor, because it would just make it more fun to shoot with. You could shoot without ears on. With a lot of like subsonic 22 long, there would be nothing. All you'd hear is impact at the target and the action moving. That would be fantastic, but it is threaded, ready to go, 1/2 inch by 28 standard size. The rifle does come with a front green fiber optic sight and a rear peep. I did have to remove the rear peep here to clear the back of my scope. And like I say, it does take almost 100% of aftermarket 1022 parts. Now, it is, in my opinion, with the forged in rail, with the threaded barrel, with the last shot bolt hold open with factory magazines, those are added features over and above your standard 1022 features. And this rifle, when I bought it, was $279. $279. At the same time, I waited for Black Friday, and there was a $50 rebate on this, so I got it for $229. I think with those features, you get the aesthetic quality of the Magpul stock, which is it's a standard polymer stock. It's lightweight, but it does give you the Magpul look. I think it was a good deal for the price that I paid for it. Now, speaking of this stock, it is very light. This entire firearm out of the box, 4.4 pounds, 5.8 pounds as it sits right now. It's very light. It's very light, and it's very easy to field. It is very easy to carry for extended amounts. It is very easy to move around. No issues there. A small framed man, any woman, any children that are old enough to shoot, it is going to be a fantastic piece. Now, the added thing with the children, it's got this cool modern Magpul design stock. It looks cool. It's sort of a cross between their backpacker style and their hunter style of stocks. It does look cool. It does give you the more modern grip angle here that Magpul is so famous for in their stock designs. And you know what? I run those stocks on everything. I've got Magpul furniture on my AR. I've got Magpul furniture on my 870. My precision rifle, then my bolt rifle I'm going to do the build on this year, it's going to have Magpul furniture on it also. Love that stuff. So it's a cool looking rifle, great features, great price point, and you know what? It's MOA accurate as far as I can tell. I am not the best precision shooter. I am shooting MOA with it. But one thing about this rifle I should warn people about, it is very lightweight. The trigger pull is about 5 pounds. When you have a rifle that weighs 4.4 pounds and it takes 5 pounds to pull the trigger, you can run into a little bit of an accuracy issue actually pulling your rifle around. And you know what? I think that is the only limitation in this rifle. Good thing is, there is a shit ton of 1022 trigger kits, trigger mods, drop-in triggers, companies that specialize in modifying triggers. In fact, one of those, Brimstone Gunsmithing, is going to get the trigger group out of this rifle. They say that this trigger group rebuilds like the aftermarket Ruger BX trigger group, and it typically comes out at 1.5 pounds of pull on the trigger. In fact, they say it's damn near impossible to get it heavier than that. And it is 100% at 1.5 pounds pull. 100% functional. It's about $80 worth of work and $10 worth of shipping. You know what? I think I'm going to bite the bullet. These guys have a great reputation for doing Ruger 1022 trigger work. I mean, fantastic reputation. I found them represented on all the 1022 rifle communities out there, forums and stuff, when I was researching triggers. Now, let's get off of the rifle here, and we will go into the glass that I put on it. Of course, I put Vortex glass on it. I love Vortex glass. I think that no matter what tier of Vortex glass that you get, it is so competitive quality-wise and optical quality and clarity-wise and feature-wise. At that price point, they hardly have any competition, and the reason is it is as good as anything else, better than most in their price range, and it still has the Vortex warranty. You can take this rifle scope if you have an emergency and you have to use this rifle scope as a hammer and you break it. You call up Vortex and say, hey, there was a bus full of nuns and babies that went into the river, and I was the only person there. I had to beat my way into that bus with this rifle scope, and I fucked it up beyond all repair. I foobarred that scope. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, you are a great American hero, Baz on Blades, for saving all of those nuns and babies. We know you would do it. We knew you would do it, Baz on Blades. Even though we didn't know it happened, we knew you would do it. And they would be right, Baz on Blades would totally save those nuns and babies. Okay, but when they would say, send us that scope, we're going to repair it or just ship you another one, no cost at all to you. That is their warranty, guys, on all of their products. And they stand behind it. They have a fabulous reputation for that. You go anywhere, Vortex has a fabulous reputation at any price point, any experience level, any competition level. They are so well represented across all aspects of the hunting and shooting sports. They make a fantastic product. I don't get a dime to pimp their stuff, but if you're doing a budget build, there's not much you're going to get that is better for this budget build. This again is their Crossfire 2 model range. This is a 3-9 by 40. This is the third Crossfire 2 scope that I have run from them. I have run a 3-9 by 40. I've run a 4-12 by 40. No, a 4-12 by 50 on my 17 HMR I used to have. And then again, this 3-9 by 40 here. I like it. It's a hunter style capped turret. It's just a good little scope for a 22 long rifle build. Aesthetically, it fits. Size-wise, it's balanced. It's a beefy enough to where it looks cool on an already pretty decent, good-looking rifle. And that's part of it. Don't let anybody tell you. Nobody wants to have an ugly gun, okay? Nobody wants to have an ugly gun except for Glock people. They want to have an ugly gun because all of them, 100% of Glock people, were dropped on their heads more than once when they were a baby. All of them. I think there is scientific proof of that out there. So we've talked about this scope, 3 to 9 by 40, perfect for this. I'm not going to get into all the details. I'm not a scope expert, guys, and I didn't have room on my paper for all the details of everything. But it's perfect for this and perfect for the budget because the scope, $129. And I did get it from a trusted seller on eBay. If you don't know how to find a trusted eBay seller, this is what you do. You go find the product that you want and then start checking the stats on the sellers. If you find somebody that has done 30,000 transactions and they've got a 100% positive feedback, they're probably trustworthy. And most of those guys are going to be authorized dealers where you can get warranty coverage. Now, this scope typically goes in the 149 range. I did shop around, found it from a reputable seller at 129. I'm not going to put any links for these products, guys. YouTube and Google are so funny about linking firearm stuff. I've never had any trouble with my channel, so because I'm so small, I just sort of under the radar. I don't want anybody looking at me except for you guys. So we're not going to put any links, but just go to wherever a reputable place. You know what? BP Photo always has good Vortex prices. I have shopped, I don't even know how many times with them over the last 20 years. Like say a reputable seller on eBay, whatever your favorite optics supplier is. Now, the rings that I got, 22 long rifle, I didn't need any big, sextuplet screwed, canted and reamed and bored heavy duty rings for this. I chose the Vortex Hunter style standard rings. Plenty enough for this, no issues at all mounting the scope. The rings were $19 shipped. The scope was $129 shipped, tax-free shipped. Okay, so we've got $279 minus a $50 rebate on the rifle itself, $129 on the glass, $19 on the rings. Now we're going to talk about this Bipod. This is an Amazon special. It's one of a gazillion Harris clones out there. This one does feature the carbon fiber legs. We'll see if you can see any of that carbon fiber goodness there. I don't know if you can or not. It's not spectacular carbon fiber. What it looks like to me is this company buys carbon fiber cutoffs from somewhere else that maybe makes golf clubs or something like that. Maybe they're like carbon fiber shaft cutoffs. I don't know, but it's carbon fiber. That's all. I mean, it's carbon fiber, and it was $27. $27.99. You can get the normal steel leg version, which weighs barely more than a feather more than this. The carbon fiber does not hardly save you any weight, but it does look cool. The steel versions are like $19 to $25, depending on what brand. I went with the X-Aegis brand, which is spelled X-A-E-G-I-S. Just search for that on Amazon. It's going to bring up all their products. They've got fantastic feedback. It is a solid Harris clone. It is a stationary clone. There's no swivel. There's no nothing like that. And you can get it with either a Picatinny mount or the M-LOK mount. M-LOK is what I went with here because we do have the M-LOK slots on the front of this Magpul design stock. So we have got $279 in the rifle with a $50 rebate, $129 in this Vortex Crossfire 2 3 to 9 by 40 scope, $19 in the Vortex Hunter rings. and $27.99 in this X-Aegis carbon fiber bipod, the Harris clone, off of Amazon. That is a total of $448-ish. It is less than $450 for a complete build that is a jack of all trades, master of none. It's not a full precision build. You're not going to do a full precision build for less than $450. I don't know of a precision 22 long rifle shooter that has that little money in just the glass on their rifle. I mean, I know precision 22 long guys, it's nothing to spend $1,000 on a scope. That's a little more than what we need for this type of build. This is a general duty field use rifle that anybody can shoot accurately and easily. It's easy to carry. If you want to do some small game hunting, that's great. If you want to teach your children or your wife or your mom or anybody that's never shot, a 22 rifle is absolutely the #1 best firearm to do it with. They are small, they're lightweight, they don't have excessive concussive force, they don't have excessive they don't have anything excessive. I can't find my words, guys. I'm so sorry. They don't have excessive anything. It is a non-assuming, non-scary firearm to learn on. Like I say, hunting, small game, teaching a shooter, letting your kids or your wife shoot. If you like to plink and you want to spend less money on 22 long rifle ammo because it's cheaper than anything else out there, then this is the way to go. Now, ammo-wise, Bazon Blades, tell us about this rifle. When I got this rifle, the first thing I did is I took a Ziploc baggie of loose stuff that Dan the Man gave me. There was 10 or 12 different kinds of high velocity ammo. He didn't know what all was in it, but he said it was all high velocity, and I ran that stuff probably about 100 rounds. I had 2 failures. They were a failure to cycle to battery to feed the next round. I think that probably what we had is a couple of rounds that were a little lightly loaded, and no other issues than that with that mixed ammo. Since then, I have shot most of a 450 round bottle of this BYOB, which is the Federal Copper Plated Champion 36 grain hollow point. I think it's about 1,200 feet per second velocity. I have also shot, I had 2 or 3 different CCI high velocity rounds. Right now I've got a small box of these copper 22s, which are 21 grain at 1,850 feet per second. And then I've shot a bunch of Winchester Super X through it, and these are 40 grain at 1,280 feet per second. No issues. Once I had those original 2 stoppages on that mixed ammo, I've never had any issues after that. Even a bad round, I recycle bad rimfire back through, and it'll go off the second time. And that's just rimfire, guys. It's just rim. In fact, it's modern rimfire. Modern rimfire has gotten much more consistent, I've been told, but you still have a lot of bad rounds in rimfire. That's just part of it. Now, what do you guys think? Do you want to build a jack of all trades, master of none, 22 long rifle? Do you want to do a budget build? A lot of people, when they think 22 long rifle, they don't think they want to spend a lot of money, but it is very easy to spend money. Most Business models are set up to make it extremely easy for you to spend your money. Many times, spend more money than what you can really afford, because these shiny, blingy things, they attract us just like a rat. Rats do not have it any worse than we do, because they don't pay for anything. We've got to pay for all of our shiny bling. But you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like I say, it's easy to spend a lot of money. You don't have to spend a lot of money. We've got a good little rifle. It has good accuracy. It has good build quality and good components. It's got some added features over a standard 1022. It's got a good looking, I keep saying good, but that's a good word. Good is a good word. Come on. It's got an attractive, sort of aftermarket looking stock. Magpul does do attractive stuff. They can do this sort of cutting edge design, and it's still functional, even though it's got some sharper angles and crisper lines, and it's non-traditional. It's really still just a stock when it comes down to it. The only thing that I noticed about it is the comb is low, guys, and it does not have replaceable comb sections like one of the true aftermarket Magpul stocks would. So I chose low rings, and the low rings, everything fit fine. It is perfect with this comb height, but I did have to remove the rear peep off of the rear sight mount. Now the sight base is still there, and I can just put the peep back on if I have to. No big deal. But I don't foresee ever having any issue out of this glass. With no more recoil, the word I was trying to think of earlier, with no more recoil than this 22 long rifle is going to have. Let's see. I'm going to send this trigger group off to Brimstone Gunsmithing and see what those guys do. If this came back with a 1.5 pound trigger pull, with less creep and a crisper break, it would be a night and day difference shooting this rifle, because it is so lightweight. And also, I know the bipod, it looks cool, but it is more stable shooting off of a bag. The bag will give you a wider support area up here in the front. Shoot off of a front bag and a rear bag, and it really helps to add a sense of weight to it, a sense of stability you're not getting because of that ultra lightweight stock. Now, it is straight out of the box with this glass on it and nothing else. It is perfect for any general use you want out of a 22 long rifle build. It's just not going to be a dedicated precision shooter. And you know what? What are you going to expect? At less than $450 as built by Bazon Blades. If you have any questions about any of these components and my choices, or anything I said is wrong or right or revolutionary, please drop down in the comment section and let me know. Please like the videos, share the videos. We got to do that crap. Come on. Please, guys. It tells Google that you like me. And if you like me, they like me. All right. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.